Hi! So ever feel like you need some action sports in your life and you feel like there might be something in the game of paintball, but you don't like the traditional bulky hopper-fed markers that they mostly have on fields? Such as these. Stick around for more. Welcome back to the Airgun Action Sports channel. My name is the Weekend Marksman, and today we are going to run through a review of a TMC paintball marker from Tippmann. Roll the intro! Hi! Welcome back to the Airgun Action Sports channel. My name is the Weekend Marksman, and today we are reviewing and going through the paintball marker Tippmann Tmc in 68 M4 paintball marker. That would be now, pretty much ever since the conception of the game, Tippmann has been manufacturing paintball markers of its own. From the legendary models of Tippmann 98 all the way to the TMC, Tippmann paintball markers have been mostly mechanical. Now, as just stated, if you like to get into paintball, but you want a more realistic approach into the look and feel of the military aspects of the gameplay, you might want to consider the Tippmann Tmc. This paper right here. Now, how does this vary from the majority of the other markers with the big bulky hopper on top of it, which actually feeds the paintball's cycle marker? Well, now obviously this has the more military-esque M4 or AR-15 platform look of it, and also you don't have the big bulky hopper on top of the marker either. Instead, it uses these traditional-looking magazines which hold 19 rounds in the 68 paintball caliber. Now, putting these cosmetic features aside, the mechanics of this marker are pretty much similar to any other of your standard HPA-fed mechanical markers on the market, but with a bit more sexy highlights. Wow! Now, stating the obvious on the way, the Tippmann Tmc stands for Tippmann M4 Carbine, and the whole thing is pretty much like a replica copy of the M4 platform. For those military simulation or mil-sim players out there that want a bit more realism and the look and feel of the actual thing itself. Now, keep in mind, if you feel like switching up to a hopper-fed gameplay, you don't have to go out and buy yourself a hopper-fed marker. You can actually unscrew this thread here and replace the feed port to the breech into a hopper feeding port. So you can play this same marker with a hopper instead of your traditional magazine. But when it comes to magazines, you can always run these 19-round magazines, have a bunch of those in your arsenal, or even have them taped together in a more comic style, or to spare no expense, in a more capitalist style dual mag feature. The marker features a selector switch on the other side of the marker, facing the player itself, starting with the safety feature that renders the marker inoperable for fire, semi-feature with a single fire per trigger pull function, and of course the YouTube-compatible super semi-automatic feature for those intense gameplay moments. What? Huh? Unfortunately, we're just kidding. The ASA port on the bottom of the pistol grip here is compatible with all of your standard HPA tanks, as well as your CO2 adapter cylinders as well, allowing you to use 12 gram CO2 capsules. But remember, one of these 12 gram CO2 capsules usually gives you around 20 shots or so worth of power, because the general power output on the markers is usually around 5 joules, which is pretty much the standard for paintball games as well. So mechanical and functional wise, this doesn't really separate itself from your standard hopper-fed markers field, but it looks damn good doing it. Now since the marker has its 5 joules of power output, which is technically adjustable via Allen key on the other side of the marker on top of the magazine well, you can adjust the gas output on each shot, amping up or lowering down the velocity of each shot. Now obviously keep in mind that each paintball field and game has their own limitations to these things. So when you're going out on a new field, remember to have your Allen key on the field so you can adjust the marker due to the field's own limitations. Now since the marker is HPA fed and mechanical, it's always going to be semi-automatic. Don't quote me on that. Some other markers that have electrical features allow the player to switch into the fun switch parts and go full auto.
Full auto?
Which this marker does not possess. The TMC is highly customizable. The mechanics are basically fixed to their standard off-the-shelf parts, but you can order separate different parts to the interiors of the kit just to switch the original, most likely plastic parts to a more high-end metallic or aluminum parts, or even switch out the pistons and springs within inside the marker to a more durable or high power output parts. But in the more cosmetic features, you can pretty much switch out everything from the, so we're talking stocks, magazines, barrels, shrouds, and due to the shroud and the upper part of the marker's body having it all Picatinny rail parts, you can pretty much add on anything your heart desires, from grips to sights to lasers, flashlights, whatever you can dream, you can add on to the TMC, which makes this perfectly compatible for all you Milsim geeks out there with your tactical agendas in mind. It's almost like your first dip into weapons manufacturing and technology.
If you're interested in gunsmithing manuals, though, I hear they have plenty over at sdi.edu.
Now, Marksman, where is 50? This one is 68, the standard paintball size. But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more!
They actually made the same marker with 50 cal instead of the standard 68 for those smaller fields and players. Now, obviously, this being paintball, you're shooting actual balls. So it's round ball compatible with a smooth bore barrel. So there are no riflings, and their standard magazines, they don't take first strike rounds, which are the shuttlecocky looking, more accurate and long distance type ammo. Unfortunately, this being the standard mechanical beginner type marker, it's not compatible to those kinds of rounds. It's pretty much fixed on your standard round ball, but I still approve this marker overall. Now obviously, since the fixed caliber is 68 in round ball, you can pretty much use everything from paintball to rubber and plastic kinetic rounds for practice and self-defense situations. Even though your marker is only outputting 5 joules of power, it still stings a bit if you have to be able to defend yourself, to run away. The magazines themselves are pretty basic. Plastic with a spring running around, like so, the interior, and you always have to line the magazines up before you start filling them up with your round ball 68 caliber projectiles, either paintballs or any kind of other ball in the same 68 caliber round format. Once you're loaded up, you insert the magazine into the marker and the spring unwinds itself to start the feeding process of rounds into the marker after the shot. A word from our sponsor.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
Our sponsor.
That wraps up today's episode. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I guess we'll see you on the next one. Bye!